Hello, Aimee here, aka Lady Rec, and I'm back for another Transformers Comics News and Reviews in 10 minutes. Nope, just doesn't have the same ring to it. Oh well. Hopefully I'll make it work. So obviously I'm in a new environment today. This is actually my car. I have a very, very overscheduled week this week because school gets out early and because then they'll be out for the rest of the month. I have a bit of limited time until Thursday this week, so I thought that I have an hour between the time that I take them to occupational therapy and getting home that I could record something. So why not then, right? So you have the car wrecking reviews today. Booyah! And no one's here watching the crazy lady, rant at her computer screen. Hopefully. Actually, the acoustics aren't too bad in the car. So as long as nobody's driving past and honking their horn, it's not too bad, actually. Anyhow, we have solicits for the news this week. We have the March 2013 releases of... I've got to get on the iPad to get that, because I don't have it on me right now. Okay. We will be getting Transformers More Than Meets the Eye ongoing number 15, which has a wicked looking cover. It's just, yeah, lots of fighting and very big overlord, and yeah, this one I can't do it justice by describing what it is, but yeah, it does not look so great for the Lost Light. The crew of the Lost Light does look like they're gonna have they're going to have a whole lot of bad stuff happening on the Lost Light. Oh my gosh. So we'll see how that goes. March 2013. We'll also be getting Robots in Disguise issue number 15. And we have a Megatron holding a Bumblebee and a Starscream, and it looks like he's trying to rip their throats out. So that's going to be pretty fun and explosive. I'm not going to spoil what is going to happen in this comic because, well, the blurbs, I'm sure there's more to it than what they've been saying on here, but yeah, I know some people aren't going to want to have this spoiled. Yeah. So, you read it if you want to. It's on tformers.com. So, but the covers are just looking fantastic. The Alex Milne one for More Than Meets the Eye number 15, and it looks like we've got the Casey Collar reveal for Robots in Disguise number 15. So, also out that month, we are going to be getting Regeneration 1 number 89. It's got a nice looking Shockwave on it. Again, I'm not gonna read all of these blurbs because obviously I want to keep this review within 10 minutes, and I'm already swiftly moving forward, right? The art looks great. It looks like another Wildman cover, probably colored by Jason Carty. So it's looking really nice. Then we're also going to be getting Spotlight Bumblebee that month as well. So more spotlights. Roll on the spotlights. As of today, the day of me recording this, I've got Orion Pax Spotlight, and I'm really liking it. I think that it's got a couple really good things to it, and of course I'll be reviewing it today as well. But yeah, Spotlight's coming back. It's a good thing. I'm liking what we've been getting so far. So we are also going to be getting, now I don't know what this is, but we're going to be getting Transformers Fall of Cybertron number 1 is what it's going to be. It says the writer is John Barber, and the artist and colorist is R.D. Raj Verma again, who did the Fall of Cybertron comic. I don't know if this is just going to be... I'm thinking it might be the trade. I'm not quite sure. It says, Rise of the Dinobots, searching for a missing teammate. Grimlock leads his team deep into Shockwave Citadel, and they'll pay for their trespass with their lives. It's the origin of the Dinobots you've never seen before. Yes. So this is going to be, I'm guessing it's going to be the trade paperback, because the next one on here also says that we'll be getting More Than Meets the Eye trade paperback volume 3 in March as well. So yeah, that's the March solicits. So I guess we're on to a review. First for review, our first spotlight, Orion Pax, written by James Roberts and the art by Steve Kurth. So, Orion Pax, which takes place after Shadowplay but before Autocracy. And our hero, Pax, is giving a temporary new body, the explanation being he's going on a secret special mission to the Rust Spot and to save none other than Ratchet, who is a hostage. He's there to secure his return. So it's an exchange that he's kind of supervising. But all does not go right, of course. And he is deceived by the cons, which is why they're called Decepticons. Somebody didn't give him the memo, I guess. And, he's deceived by the cons he's dealing with. No surprises there. The final outcome is that everyone but Pax gets away, and he's strapped to a shuttle meant to crash in the nearest habitated city and die. But he escapes, of course. Because he's Orion Pax, man. He can't die. We all know this because he exists in later stories. But it does have a charming conclusion. It's a nice self-contained story that introduces us to a few people we have only seen a tad bit of, or not at all, or not in a very long time. Like Nightbeat. We haven't seen him for a while. And no, it's not just a cameo like in Shadowplay issue 1. He actually takes an active role in this comic, but that's not all we get. We get a first look at Rack and Ruin and Alpha Trion. They were all used brilliantly. I wouldn't say that this is a perfect comic, though. The faceplate element, while it's, it has this charm, it might not work for everyone else. It worked for me. But I find those little sentimental themes to be very interesting. And others might not find that to be that interesting. So, the art, Steve Kurth does actually a really good job. I don't mean that it's functional and it gets the job done, but I mean I found that it was pretty pleasing for me all the way through the issue. I wasn't a fan of the art on the More Than Meets the Eye annual. It worked, but I really didn't care for it. This Spotlight issue, I liked. Half of it was the coloring, but the other half, quite literally, was the art as well. So kudos there, and I hope Steve gets another chance to show us what he can do on a later Spotlight. So, yeah. I'd say this one gets a 4 out of 5 Energon goodies. Next is Robots in Disguise, issue number 12. Alright, I'm going to spoil it this time. But we'll get to that. Written by John Barber and drawn marvelously by Andrew Griffith, Megatron has returned. That's the spoiler right there. And Bumblebee is like, not in my town. So while Megatron is just barely in the city limits, Bumblebee basically has the bots open fire and completely unload on Megatron. And he just takes it because he's Megatron. That's why he's so mega, because he can take it, right? Anyhow, but Needle Nose pleads for them to stop. So Bumblebee calls it off, only to have Megatron locked up. And he asks the cons to help look for survivors, as this is right on the fumes of the con pen, where they were all at Chemia, the barrel of Chemia. They got destroyed last issue, so they haven't even had a chance to look into that mess because it just barely happened, and this kind of just continues right off of last issue. So while doing that, the Decepticons get very upset because they keep on being kind of like the boot heel of everybody, and they're just kind of getting stepped on. So when Starscream goes to talk to them, it kind of makes things worse, because now he realizes at that point that the cons are not going to follow him. So he just decides to go off and have a chat with Megatron, but we don't get to see that conversation because it leaves us kind of hanging in that. In the meantime, Wheeljack gets a call about Prowl, and when he arrives on the scene, Prowl is missing, and Fix-It doesn't know what happened to him. So as Wheeljack goes to investigate and possibly find him at his private quarters, he unwittingly sets off the cons because he's just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and they're all really upset and they're about to riot, and he's just that catalyst that makes that happen. So Luckily for him, though, Prowl does find him, and he's looking more badass than usual as he's all fixed up, and he's got a nice upgrade. So yeah, bring it, cons. This, of course, only adds to all of the crazy that is Prowl lately. So, yeah, we're not going to see what happened because it kind of ends on that little hanging, dangling, oh, look, Prowl's got an upgrade and he's not unconscious. So, yeah, it was good. This issue was great. I wouldn't mess with it. I wouldn't mess with him either. We have Megatron back, and he doesn't steal all the screen. The tension stays really high. It's just a very good comic. John is in his element, and some fantastic stuff is just about to kick off. I'm so stoked for the next issue. I want to see what's going to happen. What is Prowl going to do? It'll be interesting to see what happens. So, yeah. Art was top-notch. I loved it. Prowl's design is fabulous, and Megatron looks like he's been through hell and back. Perez just made the colors sing, and it was just really good. So this issue gets a 5 out of 5 for me. Yay! Go and read it. It's awesome. So that's going to be the end of the reviews for this episode. So enjoy, have a happy holidays, and we'll see you next week for another Transformers Comics news and reviews in 10 minutes.